Hi and welcome to today's video. I'm very passionate about essential oils and I want to talk about one of my favorites, and that is lavender essential oils. There are some uses you may not have heard about, so I want to share that with you today. Hi and welcome to today's video. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Freya and I'm an aspiring minimalist and kind of a health nut. I love finding ways to simplify life and also just to stay healthy, hopefully as long as possible. Okay, let's dive into the topic. Lavender oil doesn't just smell good, and while that's of course a matter of taste, some people like the smell, for some people it's not as attractive, I think it does have some properties that are so amazing. The first thing we use lavender essential oil a lot for in our house is as a mosquito repellent. My daughter frequently has a lot of mosquitoes in her room. She must have sweet blood or something. They will bite her, and I'm really close, but they will not bite me. We always leave the door open from her to my bedroom. They're right adjacent, but mosquitoes bite her. But when we put some lavender oil all over her, first of all, I think she sleeps better. It calms her. And second of all, it does help in repelling the mosquitoes. Also, when we're outside, here's the thing. It doesn't last for like 8 hours or so. So if you're looking for a solution that lasts through the entire night, that may not be the best. But a lot of times for kids, it's just knowing that we've done something. And I personally don't like the use of chemicals, especially on kids' skin or my own skin. We try to minimize. And so it's been a pretty good solution. The second use is to use lavender oil as a remedy for mosquito bites. It really does help a lot. You put some lavender oil on and it really does help reduce the itch and the irritation. It does help me with a bunch of other things, and that is my third point here. Lavender oil can be so amazing for minor skin irritations. For example, even for sunburn. Anything that is a minor irritation, when you have maybe a rash or something that has to do with a fungal thing. You know, we used to have cats and sometimes I had these little spots. When I put lavender oil on, it did improve quite quickly. The next thing is, and this is something I've only tried once and I've had immediate success once, hemorrhoids. I've only had that one time after I went on a really long flight from the States to Germany. And I don't know why that happened. I had never had it in my life, not in my pregnancy or any other time. But after that long flight, I started having an irritation and it turned out to be hemorrhoids. I never went to the doctor or anything, but I knew what it was. And so I did my research and I tried lavender oil. I had tried like the sitting baths, and I even had ordered some medication, but then I just tried the lavender oil and within just 2 or 3 days, it got so much better. And it didn't take a week or so, and then it was completely gone. For me personally, lavender oil really helped. The next thing I use lavender oil for is as a disinfectant. I don't buy disinfectants anymore, I just use lavender oil. So when I want to disinfect my toilet seats, for example, I sprinkle a few drops on there and wipe it. It smells great. When I get through cleaning the bathroom with that, it just smells amazing and it lasts actually for 2-3 days. It smells really great. And so instead of buying Lysol or any harsh thing like that, I think lavender oil is awesome. So instead of buying Lysol or anything harsh like that, lavender oil, give it a try. It's amazing. And if you want to really reduce more chemicals, but you want your carpet to smell better, you can use lavender oil as a carpet freshener. You can either put it into your vacuum cleaner if you have a bagless, which almost everyone has a bagless now. You just take a little piece of tissue and sprinkle 5 drops of lavender oil in there. Then you put that piece of tissue inside of your vacuum cleaner into the container. And it makes the air that comes out of the vacuum cleaner smell really good and the room smells really good. Or you sprinkle some lavender oil on a little bit of baking soda, just stir it around, sprinkle it on your carpet, and then vacuum it up after a while. And because it is antibacterial, antifungal, it is actually pretty great and it does repel some bugs. So if you have pets, like I have a dog, but I've gotten rid of a lot of carpets. But it really does help to repel some of the bugs and it is antibacterial. Speaking of bugs, you can also use lavender oil as a lice remedy. I know you can buy the shampoo, and the actual treatment that you get in the pharmacy is made of, I think it's chrysanthemum. Is that a word? Chrysanthemen in German. Of that plant. It's very strong, but you can also use, like, who has that in the house right away? Sometimes maybe it's nighttime, and like here in Germany, pharmacies are not open on Sundays unless it's an emergency. And, you know, if it's after hours, there are no 24-hour pharmacies here. There's always one that's on duty that, you know, if there's like a real emergency, it's really important, you can always get medications. But, you know, I mean, just for lice, you think like, oh, let's do it tomorrow. But by tomorrow, it may have gotten a lot worse. And I always have lavender oil in the house. We are so blessed that we've never had to deal with lice, but I've talked to a few people and they say it has worked really great. So basically, you just take some lavender oil and you rub it in your scalp. Lavender oil on your skin is not harsh. So, I mean, I've never had any rashes from it. And the bugs don't like it, basically. And then after that, after you leave it on for a while, then you wash out your hair. And I've been told that it really helps repel the lice. The next thing I want to talk about is hormones. If you're a woman like I am, you want to try to balance hormones because, let's face it, there's a lot going on as a female. Even, you know, within a month, there's an up, there's a down, there's estrogen surge, there's LA surge, then there's the progesterone surge, and then it all plummets again, and then it starts all over. There's a lot of hormonal ups and downs. And then, of course, I'm not in menopause yet, but when you start going, you know, starting perimenopause and then going through menopause, menopause technically isn't anything you go through. You arrive there eventually after perimenopause. It's that process that lasts about 10 years. There might be a lot of hormonal imbalances, and I never wanted to believe it, but hormonal balances have such an effect on your mood. And I'm not anyone who's moody, but I can be a lot more negative just because of hormones. I've noticed that because I can tell when I'm not myself, and it seems like everything's fine, but just because of a hormonal imbalance or something is like really rapidly changing, like I'm a different person sometimes. Not to an effect where like someone from the outside could tell, but I can tell by the way I feel. My emotions are like, what is going on? And so using lavender oil in a diffuser to really surround yourself, there have been studies that have proven that it also helps balance out your hormones. The next thing is hand sanitizer. These days, of course, we all try to sanitize our hands as much as we can. Sometimes you don't have soap on hand, and here's my tip. Instead of getting these chemicals, which, like, really honestly, I mean, my favorite way to clean my hands is to wash them with soap. I hate disinfecting my hands. That is nasty stuff. Like, we all hate it, our entire family. It is so gross. I would rather go and ask, like, do you have somewhere where I could just wash my hands with soap? And I'd 10 times rather do just soap washing. I have a feeling they're not just, they don't get sticky, but they're actually clean and disinfected. But if you don't have anything on hand, if you're in the car, I usually have a little bottle of lavender essential oil with me. You can sanitize your hands with that. It is antibacterial and antifungal. So you don't just kill a lot of bacteria, but also fungi. The next thing that lavender essential oil is so great for is scar treatment. I made a mistake a few months ago. I went to a boulder class. That wasn't the mistake, but I fell and that wall like really rubbed my wrist right here. And I totally underestimated it. I continued on with the class and the instructor asked me, like, are you okay? I'm like, I just did this. I was like, yeah, I'm okay. Because I don't know, I'm like that. I'm like, just don't whine, just continue on. Just let's do it. But I totally underestimated and it got totally infected. And when I came home, I just put a Band-Aid on, nothing else. Oh well, Unfortunately, probably there were some bacteria on there because that wall was really dirty and like all that chalk and people probably sweating all over the place, climbing there for years. It got infected really badly. Then, you know, it really was so bad to where it became a scar, but you can hardly see it now because as soon as it was healed and it wasn't an open wound anymore, I actually helped my body by rubbing some lavender essential oil on there. And I think that's why we really can't see it. I can feel that the skin is different there, but you can't really see a scar, although it was pretty bad. And I can still feel it that when I bump it, you bump this really easily. It feels very uncomfortable, but it healed so nicely. And I've read it everywhere and I've tried it. And so I can only say, when you have a wound that heals up and the skin is closed so that the scar doesn't get too hard, you can use lavender essential oil to really make a nice scar tissue that is soft, and that also makes it much more comfortable. And the last use that is so useful, and oh my goodness, you need to have a little bottle of lavender oil with you at all times in your purse, is as a deodorant. I don't really put harsh deodorant on anymore. I don't really buy deodorant anymore. I buy deodorant from one company and it lasts me for a year. I also make my own, and that's just like a cream deodorant on the base of shea butter and some essential oils and some baking soda. But when I'm out and about and I don't have deodorant with me, I always have that lavender oil, and really it works. Take some drops, rub it under your arms. It kills the bacteria and it does smell good. And I don't know, I favor that because the overpowering deodorant, I am really sensitive toward that nowadays. And when I pass someone, like in the grocery store or so, who, of course, nowadays we're not even close to anyone anymore, but some people, you're even if you're 6 feet away from them and they kind of walk by or you're behind them, it's like, whoa, it's that smell of deodorant or perfume overpowering the smell of a human being, which is normal. We all have our own smell, and you know why. I ask myself all the time, when did it become unfashionable to not smell like a human being? I don't know, like animals, they don't have this thing with like, you have to smell like not like your species. You need to smell like a flower. I mean, I don't know when that happened. That thought just crossed my mind recently a few times when I thought, when did that start? That it's a bad thing. And of course, you know, in the past, like, I don't know, in the animal kingdom and maybe way back in time when human beings hadn't invented, when they didn't invent perfume yet, there were flowers and we thought it smells good, but it actually was sexually attractive to smell another human being that smelled like a human being. Right? That's kind of how we determined biologically that person is compatible, that I can smell that person. I like the smell of that person. And nowadays it's all like, I like the person's perfume, which has nothing to do with the person, which, you know, like, that's not the issue today here, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think, why did this start? And why is this such a huge thing nowadays to like smell is like, you are not allowed to smell like a human being because it's nasty? Why? And why is hair nasty? Like, okay, I shave, but it's just a philosophic question maybe that just ask yourself, when did this start and why is it a thing now? So these were 11 maybe unusual uses that you hadn't thought about that you could use lavender oil for. I could make more videos in the future about essential oils. I don't use a lot of them, but the ones I do use, I try to find many uses, as many as possible. I've never used essential oils to ingest. You have to be really careful about that, but using them topically or in a diffuser definitely helps. And we all know that lavender oil is calming and that, it maybe helps you sleep. For my daughter, in the summer when she gets the bug bites, we also put lavender essential oil into our diffuser and put it right beside her bed. That really calms her down and it really does help. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Subscribe if you have not already, if you're interested in more videos about minimalism, decluttering your life, leading a simple life, and staying healthy as long as you can. I would love to have you in the community. Have a great day, and I hope to see you next time, and keep it simple. I can't even talk anymore. not now. Fungus, fungi, fungi, Pilze. It's funny that in German, fungus is the same word as mushroom. Pilz. I eat Pilze and I might have Pilze on my skin. How weird is that?